Hi, what's up? I'm back again. How we doing today? Well, I'm back with another video, and this time I'm gonna talk about FlyGirl. You know, I did so much for her, and I have done so much over the past months, 2 years. It has really become monotonous how I put myself in situations. I mean, I've done so much and put myself through situations defending her. And during my break, it's been rough for me because I know how much I always enjoyed defending her, and I feel like I still got love for her. It's been a little rough for me. It's been a little rough. You know, I can't read a book. I can't play my PlayStation. I can't even read a magazine. For the most part, I've been doing pretty well. I've been sleeping well, looking pretty good, my mom said, and exercising well. I've been working out, which I enjoy working out. But I want to talk about her now. You know, this is how it all started off. Okay? This all started, now, the last video, one of the videos I did was when I talked about how I ended the beef with Brandon Fox. One of the best things I did. And, of course I added J. Diddy in that, but that was a different situation. But I know that I ended the beef with Brandon Fox, and most would believe that my disliking against Brandon was because of FlyGirl, okay? Did she play the role on it? Did FlyGirl play the role on me disliking Brandon? Well, I guess there's a possibility that's true. I guess there's a possibility that it's true. But this is how it all started off, okay? It all started off when I was defending Daniela, that dancer, that exotic dancer. You know who Daniela is. I was always defending her, and of course, the first time I heard of her is when Scope was reshared to her by Stormy. Now, I was always defending Daniela. Then, after all those years, now, of course, Daniela and her boyfriend Chris did appreciate it, you know. I actually did make an impact on that. I had this impact on defending Daniela. I would always defend her. I would always, when I would be in her scopes, I would always get defended when haters would come in. You know, I would get that excitement. But I would have that excitement in me when I would be in her scopes, and the haters would come in. But I guess her popularity went down. But one day, okay, this was Super Bowl Sunday. This was after the game. Everybody was on Scope having fun. I was in Burkle's and Pink Scope. And they knew about my obsession with Daniela. And John Burkle said, you know who you should focus on? FlyGirl. Because there's a difference between FlyGirl and Daniela. Daniela has somebody, FlyGirl doesn't. He was like, you know what? You should focus on FlyGirl. I mean, you should focus on FlyGirl. There's this girl called FlyGirl you should focus on. And people are saying, oh, you two would make such a couple. You two would make a great couple. You two would do this. You two would make a good couple, right? Burke was like, you should focus on FlyGirl. There's this chick called FlyGirl you should focus on. Yeah, at first, I would watch her. I would watch her do her dance videos. And all of a sudden, it started to build up. It was building up. It was actually building into me that I was actually getting into her. And I was living in Ocean County at the time. I was living in the Ocean County area at the time. And it was building up. It was building up. And a couple of times when she would come on my scope and we would talk, people that would come into my scope can see how I remember this one guy was telling me, I don't know who, this one guy was telling me how my eyes would like glare every time I would talk to her, right? My eyes would like glare every time I talked to her, every time I would talk to FlyGirl. They would see like the glare in my eyes. And yes, because I always enjoy talking to FlyGirl. I always enjoy going into her scopes and talking on her scopes. And I always enjoyed having her come into my scopes. So I would always go around telling people, I love FlyGirl, I love her, I enjoy her company, I enjoy defending her. Well, as it went on, as time went by, I stopped defending Daniela. Now I'm on FlyGirl. I'm on FlyGirl like crazy. I'm defending her. I was putting myself in situations. I was saying things. And of course, people have been concerned about me. Okay? I do so much for her. And people tell me, oh, Steven, she's manipulating you. She's manipulating you. The accounts that people were making, okay? Somebody made an account called Studley Del Vecchio. Okay, somebody made an account called Studley Del Vecchio. You know her dog? They created an account called Studley Del Vecchio. Others have made troll accounts. Somebody made this troll account, I don't know what it was of her, saying, I'm FlyGirl, I own Steven, I manipulate Steven, I own Steven, I control Steven. So, people, you're saying, okay, is it true? Is this true? Did she really lead me on to what I was saying and doing? Is she really responsible for my actions? I was the one that was always defending her. Now, okay, I always been the friend. I've been the true friend. Now, wait, let me explain something. Okay, those of you that probably don't know this or do know this, okay, if you go on Periscope.tv, one of her scopes is the short history of Dre. Okay? And my name is mentioned in that scope. Okay? It's mentioned in that scope. She talks about the ones that she was friends with. And through all that shit she went through, through all that, at the end, my name gets brought up. I have always been the true friend to her. Now, you want to see for yourself, okay? I have always been the true friend. There's a video called The Short History of Dre. It's a scope. The Short History of Dre, where she talks about the ones she was friends with. And then all of a sudden, who comes in the picture? You're looking right at them. I stand on top. I'm not saying that I'm above Dree or Keen or anybody else that was in that scope names that were mentioned, but I'm different than Keen, that's for sure. But if you watch the scope, you can check it out on Scope TV, on Periscope TV. Look for the short history of Dree. Okay, go on Periscope.tv, type in the short history of Dree, and you will see. And you will see. You will see for yourself. And it tells the story. But does it really mean anything? And you know what? I have told my parents, of course my parents found out about Periscope. I told my parents about FlyGirl. And the other day, okay, just the other day, okay, of course, I know she had to be blocked now. I said to my mom, I said, how come, okay, people say that she manipulates me, okay, blocks me, then unblocks me, right? And I said to my mom, I said, how come she doesn't do it to Keen? And my mom said, because she gets the best out of you. Gets the best out of me. How? She never asked me to defend her. I defend her because I like FlyGirl. I know most people on the app don't, but I like FlyGirl. And then she would complain about who I allow in my scopes, okay? Who I allow in my scopes, which I cannot control, okay? Now, of course, I always allow drama in my scopes because I never really mind having people go out in my scopes. I let people do their thing. I let them do their own business. She complains about who I'm letting in my scopes, you know, the ones that she calls hookah. Hookah. Okay? Now, what I'm about to say is true. Okay? In America, this country is home of the brave, land of the free. They can go wherever they want to go. Okay? These hookahs, right? They can go wherever they want to go. And that's the truth. Okay? That is true. They can go wherever they want to go. Okay? If they can go into Starbucks. Right? They can go into Starbucks. Right? Make the screen brighter. They can go into Starbucks. They can go wherever. If they're on scope, they can go into anybody's scopes. But what's the difference with them coming in? What's the difference between them coming into my scopes and others or Keens? Well, I don't know. But that's the simple thing. Then we have this one particular night. I mean, I can't control where they go. And that's for sure. Then we had this one night. I know all the time she came into my scopes. It was after Don ended his scope. Berko didn't go live because John didn't go live because Pink was sick. He wanted to take care of Pink, and he didn't really care to go live. He wanted to take care of Pink, which is good, you know. Take care of a loved one. So, so then I went live. I said, okay, I'll go live. Bunch of people were coming into my scopes. And of course, that wonderful enemy of FlyGirl came in, and who also doesn't like me, started saying things about her. I let her on the call in, because I figure, yeah, she goes in on the call in, Lexi. she goes in on the call, and I'll let FlyGirl come in and go at her. Because you figure, okay, people like the drama. And then I figured, okay, I mean, I look back, remember all the times when I complained, oh, you didn't come into my scope because you were more interested in the drama. You cared more about the drama than come into my scopes. But then you know what? I learned how people are attached to the drama. But then again, even if they don't come in, you could still go live and do whatever and leave the replay up. I mean, yeah, those were those nights. When I could have gone live and I could have just sat there and went, la 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 la. Yeah, I'll leave the replay up. Those of you that are watching the replay, thanks for watching. La 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 la. But you learn how they become attached to the drama. So then it became disaster. Then Keen comes in. Fly's getting mad at me. Tammy, when it was in the call and she was protecting FlyGirl. So, I mean, I was trying to control everything that was going on. Okay? But for the most part, I never really took control of my scopes. But, it was hectic. She was then she was getting annoyed at me and angry at me. So then, of course, I got rid of that scope. Of course, I had to end, and then at one point I had to end it because it was flickering, it was glary. Then I went live again, and her and Keen had a conversation to call in. So then, 2 nights later, Sunday night, she got angry at me, right? In Don Lot Scope. Glock was talking about, they were talking about the doxing and all, and Glock explained who gave me FlyGirl's number. And of course, most people do believe who they know who it is. I'm not saying anything now. Most people do believe who they know who it is. That gave me FlyGirl's number. And of course, the mistake that I made was that I didn't say to her, the mistake that I made, and I guess it's no surprise that I didn't do this, that I didn't say to her, your phone number was given to me, just letting you know. But I didn't do that. I just went ahead and called her. And the person it was through a fake account of Johnny Bax, which was really out of line. Because, okay, whoever did that, probably watches her scope through Scope TV. So anywho, created a fake account of Johnny Bass, which is really out of line. I mean, okay, yeah, you could do that with anybody. You could do that with Elvis. But who would actually believe it's Elvis? Hey, I know you want there's somebody's number you've been asked for. No, you can't fall for that. So, after that, I was on the call and I said, well, now we know. Then FlyGirl goes off and says, well, how come on the other night you let... So then I was trying to explain it wasn't my fault. It was a setup. And then I was like panicking. I was like saying, FlyGirl, it's not my fault. It wasn't my fault. I'm sorry. Then I was saying, FlyGirl, I love you. Then Pawn Star came into the conversation, started saying things to Fly, saying, oh, how come you do this to him? You do that to him, meaning me. And then I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. And And then here I'm like, it was a disaster. It was a disaster. And this one chick that I used to talk on Instagram, which I'm not going to mention her name, but she don't want me to mention her name. I said her name, and then she came, and then she sent me a message on Instagram on Periscope saying, "Don't mention my fucking name." And she says that Fly doesn't manipulate me. Most people say that she does. But you see these videos on Scope TV, on YouTube from Fly saying, once again, FlyGirl manipulates Steven. The one where she talked about how she unblocks me and all. So, after that that night on Don Lot, a couple of days later or so, she blocks me again. After all that I do and done. I mean, people say, Steven, there are people that care for me, that look out for me. They don't want to see, they want the best for me. And they don't want to see, they don't want to see me go through aggravation. It was kind of interesting, though, because today when I was walking, I was thinking about my years in school, especially in high school. And, of course, I seen girls fight. I seen girls fight. I seen drama in high school with girls fighting. I mean, this was real life drama. Before social media came on, before they created social media, there was actually more real life drama than anything else. And the fights in high school that I saw, I mean, this was when they just had real life drama. Nothing on social media. Social media didn't even exist back then. But I have seen girls fight. But the interesting part is that I was actually thinking about this. Throughout my years through school and high school, there was never really a girl that I defended like I done for Danielle and FlyGirl, especially like what I done for FlyGirl. There was never really a girl that I defended, which is kind of, I guess I don't know if it's a little awkward, but there was never really a girl in school that I defended like I was done for FlyGirl. And I have seen them fight, but you figure, defend the girl and then get suspended. Simple as that. Simple as that. Simple as that is, or simple as that sounds. Fall in love, defend her, and then get suspended. Wow. And then you would say to yourself, well, gee, what is that worth? "10 years down the road, you look back, and you're like, wow, did I really waste my time?" There are times where I get emotional. I do break down. I do cry. I've been doing a lot of crying, and I have cried. I've been crying at times. I do get emotional, and it bothers me. I mean, I do get emotional, and of all the years of going to school, all the girls that I went to school with, I never in my life had met anybody. I never really seen anybody with that kind of personality. I have never went to school with anybody with that kind of personality. I've seen them fight, but I have never in my life ever met a girl with that kind of personality like FlyGirl has. And I would tell people this story. I was actually thinking today, would I write a book? I don't know. Interesting question, though. Would I write a book? I don't know. But, I know she goes through a lot with the drama. Yeah, I've been in drama myself. I put myself in situations because of her. And they say to me, she's all grown. She can handle herself. To me, I hear what they're saying, but to me she's just not good enough to handle herself. I could be wrong, but to me she's just not good enough to handle herself. And that's just the way I feel. So, but I have told my parents, I told my mom about her, and the other night or so, my mom said, well, she just wants the best out of you. That's why. Hold on, let me shut this light. I don't want to have this light flicker on me. Huh. Damn. Huh. That's what my mom said, she just wants the best out of you. So, I don't know. I mean, like I said, all the years that I've seen girls fight, this is when they only had real life drama. Social media did not exist during my high school days. It was real life drama. And I mean, you look back 10 years down the road, you look back, or they'll look back, and if somebody ever asks them, when was the last time you had somebody defend you and stood up for you? They'll probably remember you then. They'll remember you. And they'll probably realize what they had. That they had somebody from wherever stood up for you. And they'll say, yeah, there was somebody back in the day, back in on this app or that was defending me and all. And ever since then, they'll tell them, nobody has never defended them anymore like that. And that's what they would tell him. That there was actually a time where somebody defended them and stood up for them, and who actually had love for them. And they'll look back and they'll be like, damn, I don't get that support anymore. You know, I think the best part is when they say, oh, you and FlyGirl would make a great couple. You and FlyGirl would make a great couple. Because of my New Jersey accent and her Boston accent. I mean, wow. I mean, me, I'm not a I would never try to be a matchmaker. But how can you compare somebody from New Jersey that would be good for somebody? How can you compare somebody from New Jersey to somebody from Massachusetts? I don't know. You know, they say, well, I've been told I sound like I'm from Brooklyn. But, you know, it's interesting. You know, they actually, they're like some sort of genius where they compare somebody from New Jersey to somebody from Massachusetts. You know? And the best part was when her number was given to me. You get pulled. You get dragged in a situation. You know, it's like that. It's like that expression. You want out, right? You want out. You try to get out, but they pull you back in. But they pull you back in. And you don't want to be put in situations. You don't want to get dragged in situations that you have no reason to be dragged into. But they just pull you in. That's what they do. They just pull you in. They pull you back in. And it's not the app. It's the people that are on the app. But I will be doing a next video will be about Periscope problems. That'll be one of the videos. And you know, it's the way things are, because I feel like I don't exist anymore. Well, I do. But, you know, it's how if I find her easy to understand, okay? I find her to be very easy to understand. I understand her personality. I understand where she's coming from. You know, there's an expression. There's something that I once said. You have to, in order to figure other people out and understand others, you have to figure yourself out and understand. You have to figure yourself out and understand you before you figure somebody else and understand other people. And that's the truth. You could tell people they're fucked up, but still. I guess there comes a time where you have to learn to understand somebody and figure them out. And if you can figure them out, and understand them, you could figure yourself out and understand you. You know, it's kind of interesting though, because I remember when I was on Twitter, there was this other chick from Boston. She calls herself the Boston chick. And knowing that I'm a Yankee fan, she's a Sox fan. I used to have these have these conversations. You're gonna get a kick out of this. I used to have these conversations with her and other people. I would always start these conversations. I would add her in the conversation, and I would add others in the conversation. I would say to them, who would you hang out with at a bar? If you had a choice, who would you hang out with at a bar? Yankee fans or Red Sox fans, right? And with all the conversations I mentored her in with people, right? One time it was with Tommy Lee, you know, the drummer from Motley Crue, and he liked it. He actually liked it. You know, I know he's been through some hard times. He's a cool dude, Tommy Lee. He actually liked it. I even have his first album, Never a Dull Moment. He liked it, Tommy Lee, right? So then I remember one time I mentored her and Kathy Ireland, right? And she was like, this Boston chick was like, dude, why are you mentoring me in this conversation? I was like, I'm just having fun, right? This was like on a Mother's Day, right? So then, because I was only having fun. So then, all right, here comes the best one. One night, I mentored her in a conversation with former ESPN broadcaster Britt McHenry. Now, first, I didn't realize who she was at the time, but she's the one who worked for ESPN, the one that got fined for insulting the tow truck woman. So then one night, when I was on one night I was on Twitter, and I was gonna mentor that, because I remember the Boston chick said to me one night, she said, hey, you know, you're pretty good. You know, you're pretty good at mentoring conversations with celebrities. She was like, you mentored Tommy Lee in the conversation, and he kind of liked it. I'm like, yeah, right. Well, one night I was on Twitter. I wanted to start the conversation again, right? I hit the word B, and I saw a picture of a woman from ESPN. So I mentioned her, and I put the Boston chick in it, right? And I asked Britt McHenry the same question. And then this Boston chick was saying these things, right, about her. And I was like, well, what's going on here? What's going on? Blah, blah, blah. She was running her mouth, and I didn't know what was going on. So then she showed me the video on YouTube. I was like, oh, so this is who it is, right? So then Britt McHenry said to her, if you hate me so much, why are you tweeting me? And she said, first of all, I'm not the one that tweeted you. So then this Boston chick blocks me. Then all of a sudden, all of Britt McHenry's followers just jump into the conversation. Britt McHenry, her followers just jumped into the conversation. Everybody was like, wow, oh my God. This one guy said, you got called out by Britt McHenry. And I was like, dude. I'm like, I didn't do this to start trouble. I didn't do it to start trouble. And then all I did was start a conversation, right? And my mouth was like dropped. I mean, I was shocked. I mean, I was shocked that this actually happened, right? But yeah, I was shocked that it happened. And I apologize to McHenry. I was like, I didn't do it to start trouble. I didn't see it coming. But yeah, it happened, you know. I mean, so I guess you could say I have my history of being a drama king, ringmaster. You know, on one of my accounts on YouTube, I talked about this. But yeah, I guess you could say I'm the drama king, ringmaster. But yeah, I always had my share of fun on Twitter. So anyhow, back to FlyGirl. So now, yeah. So I went from creating a drama with this one Boston chick, or being accused of creating drama with this one Boston chick, to defending another Boston chick in drama. Wow. Well, I guess you could say I get around. I get around pretty good, huh? But, you know, I guess you could say I get around. Well, you know, but that was then. That's. But now Brick McHenry's fired from ESPN. That's all over. But now, I've done so much for FlyGirl, and you know, it just hurts me, bothers me, you know. 10 years down the road, look back. Oh God, if I break down to tears, it's be understandable. 10 years down the road, you know, I'll look back and I'll be like, you know, I remember when I created, here's another thing. I remember when I created FlyGirl Nation. Remember I did FlyGirl Nation? I was supporting her. I was showing her support. I was creating FlyGirl Nation. And I put a stop to that, you know? You know, I mean, songs I would dedicate, I mean, I always showed my support. But when our number was given to me, when our phone number was given to me, I just got caught in the moment. And you know, I didn't care to tell her that her number was given to me before calling. I just got caught in the moment. But yes, and again, of course, she was mad at me for calling her number. It was a mistake on my part because I didn't tell her. It was a mistake on my part because I didn't tell her. You know, something else I'll remember. But you know, you care for somebody, you put your heart out for them. I don't know. But I know I've been taking time off, but I know I'll be back. Once again, I'm Steven Novacchio. Subscribe to my channel and check out my other videos, and I'll catch you around. Bye.